Hello and welcome everybody to the Buddhist Recovery Network Academy. I'm Susanna, joining you from Helsinki, Finland, and I will be your host today. And I ask you to mute your mics unless you are the teacher. Thank you very much. Okay, let's start again. Okay. Hello and welcome everybody to the Buddhist Recovery Network Academy. I'm Susanna, joining you from Helsinki, Finland, and I will be your host today. I'm a big fan of Buddhism recovery and Buddhist recovery. I facilitate both 8-step recovery meetings and mindfulness-based addiction recovery courses here in Finland. I'm a member of the board of the Buddhist Recovery Network. And today we have a new academy teaching offered by Myokei Caine-Barrett Shonin. And the topic of the teaching is the power of choice. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Myokei and the teaching in just a moment. So thanks everybody for being here and being part of our community today. So this is the format for the next 60 minutes. We will have a meditation, a chanting meditation in the beginning for about 20 minutes. Then there will be teaching, and at the end there will be a session for Q&A. All of our teachings are given freely, and we are blessed with some amazing teachers who have experience on the cushion, experience working with body, speech, and mind, experience in the ongoing practice of recovery by the way of Dharma. As we practice the Buddha's teaching of generosity, we invite you to give dana that will be given to support our ongoing Buddhist Recovery Network meetings and to support the teacher. You can give on a one-time or recurring basis using the link that was posted to the chat field. Please be sure to indicate that your donation is for the Academy, and we sincerely thank you for your generosity. And if you, for some reason, forget to put there that it's for the Academy, everything that comes in just before this session and during the session and right after, it's directed to the Academy. Okay, so let me introduce our guest teacher. And my English is my second language. So, there are some words that aren't English or Finnish. So I'm trying to say them correctly. Sorry if I misspell something, but Myokei Caine-Barrett Shonin currently holds the position of Bishop of the Nichiren Buddhist Order of North America. She is the first woman and the first American to hold this position. She is also the first American woman and first person of African American Japanese descent to be fully ordained, having completed this process in 2007 with Bishop Nissho Uchino in Yamanashi Prefecture in Japan. She is the guiding teacher and resident priest at Myoken-ji Temple in Houston, Texas. Myokei Shonin continues to volunteer with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice as clergy to 2 prison sanghas for the past 16 years, in keeping with the Lotus Sutra teaching of full equality of all beings. Her writings have been published in a variety of Buddhist magazines, in Tricycle, Lion's Roar, and newspapers like Nichiren Shu News, and is featured in The Hidden Lamp, Stories from 25 Centuries of Awakened Women. Wow, she's currently developing curriculum for the Nichiren Shu tradition and the Lotus Sutra, and dealing with the trauma of incarceration and racism. She also supports weekend trainings for Healing Warrior Hearts, a Texas for Heroes project designed to truly welcome veterans home. Myokei Shonin is a facilitator in dialogues on racism and managing conflict mindfully. She is also a licensed religious science practitioner. And today's teaching, The Power of Choice, this is what she says about it. Choices guide the manner in which we walk the path of Dharma. Can we use suffering to build joy? Can we turn the obstacles in our lives into good medicine for our growth? Welcome, Myokei. It's a very big pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you. I hope you can hear me well. Good.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. Um, so this morning or afternoon, whatever time we are, we will begin with the Shodaigyo meditation, which is our form of chanting meditation. Um, we are not generally heavy silent sitters, so we may sit for 3 or 4 minutes, and then most of our time is devoted to chanting Namu Myoho Renge Kyo, or the entire Lotus Sutra itself. So today I'd like to introduce you to our Shodaigyo or chanting meditation service. And I'm going to begin it at step number 4 to make sure we have enough time to get into the chanting. So if you will, sit in a comfortable position, however you're used to your meditation. Make sure your back is straight, your head centered over your body, and your eyes can be fully opened or lightly closed. You can't hear me. Okay.
Sound is strong on my end.
Okay. All right. And this begin to breathe in slowly and deeply through your nose, and breathe out slowly and completely through your mouth. You may wish to count to 8 as you breathe in, hold for the count of 4, and breathe out to the count of 8. And the purpose is to try and develop a rhythm of breath that is long, slow, gentle, and deep. And try to not worry about anything that you hear, anything that is impacting your senses whatsoever, and just concentrate on the sound of your breath, on the flow of your breath. So as you feel it into your body and coming out of your mouth. This is known as Jo Shingyo, purification of the mind and heart, so that you may enjoy the benefit of chanting the Odaimoku.
His son
Place your hands in Gasho as we now begin to chant the sacred title. We will chant 3 minutes, very slow. Namu, Myoho, breath. Renge, Kyo, breath. Followed by Namu, Myoho, Renge, Kyo, breath. Namu, Myoho, Renge, Kyo, breath. And then speed it up last 3 minutes. Namu, Myoho, Renge, Kyo. Namu, Myoho, Renge, Kyo. Namu, Myoho, Renge, Kyo. release your hands from Gasho and return to the meditation position. Back straight, head centered over your body. And breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Namu Myoho Renge Kyo. Namu, devotion or respect for. Myoho Renge Kyo. Myo meaning wonderful, ho, Dharma. Renge, lotus flower. Kyo, sutra. So it's devotion or respect for the sutra, the lotus flower of the wonderful Dharma. So as we begin our final period of meditation, consider the meaning of Myo in addition to wonderful, meaning mysterious. It also means to open. To open your heart, your mind, your circumstances to all the possibilities, to all the wonder that exists for you in the world as you follow the path of the Dharma. Resting, taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. We have this final period to consider well the merits of opening. Jin Shingyo. May the merits we have accumulated through this offering of prayer be distributed equally among all living beings. May we all attain the awakening of the Buddha. May all the Dharma realms equally benefit all. Namu Myoho Renge Kyo. Thank you. So the power of choice. What does that mean? I think especially those of us who are essentially converts, much of our earlier knowledge of religion or philosophy or way of living life doesn't really respect the idea of choice. And a lot of times those are structured because of societal norms and just the way we were raised. And so most of our task is trying to overcome those barriers, those limitations that we were taught by people we loved and trusted. And especially when it comes to our practice of the Dharma. I think the major obstacle a number of us have to overcome is the notion of sin and being born in sin and conceived in sin. So that means that there's something wrong with us from the very beginning. And what I think the Dharma offers us is the notion that we are essentially perfect, whole, and complete. That all of these pathways that are open to us are the result of choices we made. And it defines the way we walk the path, the choices that we've made. Our choices in response, our choices in how we act, think, and talk. All of those we know as activities that feed into our karma. But the idea that we are perfectly made, we are whole, and we are complete means that the choices are manifested in who and how we are. And so that we are perfect, whole, and complete in being able to manage what comes at us in our lives. We often talk in Nichiren about the Nichiren Shu practice about the 3 obstacles and 4 devils, or 4 hindrances. And we are confronted with this from the standpoint of just Buddhism in general, which says that no mud, no lotus. And the mud comes to us from our confusion and our sufferings, which are the result of the 3 obstacles and the 4 devils. The obstacles of our desires, which are grounded in the 3 poisons of greed, anger, and ignorance. The obstacles of karma, due to karma created by committing any of the sins, cardinal sins, and the obstacles of retributions by our efforts to act out on the path of greed, anger, and ignorance. The hindrances are the hindrances of the 5 components, obstructions caused by our physical and mental functions. Then the hindrance of earthly desires again, arising out of the 3 poisons. The hindrance of death, that an untimely death would obstruct our practice of Buddhism. The hindrance of Mara, or the Devil King, that would cause us to discard or walk away from our practice. So all of these 3 obstacles and 4 hindrances show up, especially when our understanding and our practices progress along the path, that we are often confronted by obstacles and hindrances that are intended to cause us to walk off the path, forget the path, to find something else, to question what we're doing. Again, the mud, the sufferings, the confusion. And the devils, the hindrances come out of our form, the 5 components, our hearing, form, conception, wisdom, consciousness. I'm missing one. But they come out of that. So if we are able to consider that every time we are met with some kind of suffering, some kind of obstacle, it is a gift rather than an obstacle or a hindrance. And that is a choice that we have to make on our own, of considering well how these obstacles, these hindrances show up in our lives. If we imagine that our lives are like a water hose that is laid out over the winter, and in the spring we start running cool, clean water through it, and it shoves out all the twigs and the leaves and the dead bugs. That's what we can imagine in terms of our lives, in terms of having tasted the cool, fresh water of the Dharma. Then our bodies are giving up, our lives are giving up all that detritus from having lain dormant for a while, if we can imagine that way. And we are always at the point of choice. When we consider the 6 realms of hell, hunger, anger, animality, rapture, and heaven, those are the karmic foundations, the places where we develop the karma. And what we've learned in the Lotus Sutra is that those 6 realms and the other 4 of the heavenly abodes each contain the other 9. So in the world of hell, the world of Buddha also exists. The world of Bodhisattva, the world of Pratyeka Buddha and Shravaka also exists. And that we go through all of these realms or worlds very quickly, sometimes all the time. It's something we don't even really consider. If we imagine that we bought a new car, for example, and we're so excited about this new car, really attached to the smell and the beauty and the loudness of the speakers, and we drive it off the lot, and we are hit by a guy driving an old beat-up pickup, and he has no insurance, and he has no money. And all of the joy and thrill of that brand new car just disappears immediately. And then hearing that he has no insurance or money to help you out, you might get definitely in the world of anger, in the world of hunger about what you would like to do to this person that has destroyed your dream. But the choice you make at that moment, even in the world of hell and hunger and anger, is to tap into your Buddha nature. And instead, go there, exercise there, even in the midst of your hunger, your hell. Because our Dharma practices are cultivating the foundation of Buddhahood in our lives. Nichiren Shonin said that when we pick up the sutra, our hands become the Buddha's hands. And when we chant the sutra, our mouths become the Buddha's mouth. And our eyes become the Buddha eyes. Indicating that this is happening even without our knowing and just by simply our exposure. So we have to imagine what it means that we are actively engaged in the practice of cultivating that Buddhahood every single day, morning and evening, all throughout the day, so that we eventually get to a place where our lives accurately and completely are able to expose that Buddha to the world, your Buddha to the world. It's not external. And that's, I think, one of the major obstacles so many of us have to overcome is thinking that it's outside of ourselves. But that's why we're perfect, whole, and complete, because we have all of these things within. Every obstacle we meet is teaching us about the Buddha within. All the confusion is forcing us to awaken that Buddha within so that we're able to get in touch with it. And if we can imagine every single time that we sit in practice and sit in meditation, that we are communicating that with that Buddha, we are actively bringing the Buddha to life in our lives. And that's our gift. Many of us, I know, especially in the mixed ethnic community, because all of us have asked the question, why was I born this way? Why did I come out looking like I did? Why now? Why these parents? All of that. And to really understand that we chose how we're showing up here because of the causes that we made previously. And there's a purpose to that. I know we talk about no self, and I tend to think the function of the self is a tool to help us get to no self. Because all of the things that we experience are the fodder that allow us to walk the path and gain deep insight and understanding from our journeys. Because that's what we're here to do. It's so important for all of us to be able to walk our steps on the path and to be able to expose to ourselves and those around us the journey that we're undertaking. So every experience we have is a gateway for someone else. And they will show up at just as we show up at the most appropriate time. I recently had an experience of running into a mom whose son had just died. And I was asked to come and support them during the cremation. And what was so astonishing is that their family was an exact mirror of my family, but in reverse. She is also Japanese like me, except she was Jewish instead of African American. And our families looked the same. The composition, everything about our families was the same. And it was never meeting a stranger, it was meeting another family member because our connection was that tight. And it ended up opening a new world of friendship. And it was an event that happened because I simply answered the phone at a time when I rarely answer the phone, and that's while driving in my car. But something said, pick up the phone. And so our ability to respond, our ability to show up is so important. And that's what we're all working to do, to be able to show up and be that opening for others. Nichiren Shonin said it's more important for 1,000 people to take one step than it is for one person to take 1,000 steps. Because the breadth and depth of experience and understanding is needed. Because each of us is a gateway to the Dharma, to liberation, to joy and happiness that other people are seeking. And we have to be aware that every bit of suffering that we go through, every bit of confusion, is the fuel to develop the kind of life that will draw those people in. Because there's always somebody that has your experience that needs support for your experience. And you're there called to be present by their lives to help them out. And that's also based on the choices that are made. We talk about causes and conditions, and when they're all ripe, we all come together the way we're supposed to so we can support each other. So the biggest thing I want you to take with you is that now is the time to show up, to be present, to be open, and to be able to give your life to the cause of liberation and joy for everyone. Because that's what we're here for. It's our time. And the Buddha land is within us, no matter what. Any questions?
Thank you, Myokei. If I can say a couple of words right here. That was so beautiful. I have tears in my eyes. It was so beautiful. Thank you for the wise words and the hopefulness. Yes, I'm gonna go back to this teaching and write down some of the stuff because it was so powerful. I'm gonna say just a couple of things about the Q&A, the etiquette. Thank you, Myokei, for creating this compassionate and peaceful space. I'm just, again, thank you for your wisdom as well, so that people can show up with their suffering. And what really amazes me is that people, when they have this suffering, they show up in here, they come here, so that we are with other people, coming to connection. So I'm going to say a few words about Dana at this point, because your generosity can help to strengthen the recovery community and to grow the academy, and can be a practical expression of gratitude and metta. We invite you to practice generosity and to give Dana in support of these teachings, to be shared with our teacher and with the Buddhist Recovery Network. So there is a link in the chat that will take you to the BRN website. And please indicate that your gift is for the academy. And if you forget it, it's okay as well. There's also a link to the our upcoming summit that is coming in October. There's also a link to the podcasts Facebook group. And when you come to the Facebook group, please answer the membership questions to join. So we will accept your. And then there is also a Buddhist recovery meeting every week. And the type of the meeting changes weekly. You can check the schedule on the webpage using the link that is now in the chat. I'm sorry, I'm so deeply touched by this this talk that I was supposed to check who is going to be the next guest, but you will find it from the website. And let's transfer our merits. So thank you for joining us today. May the merit we have gained go to the alleviation of the suffering of all beings. May we all be happy. May we all be peaceful. May we all be safe. And the room will stay open for a few moments for you to copy the texts. And Myokei, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And you can write your thank yous to the chat if you wish. There are plenty.
May I read a prayer for everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you may.
So Nama Butsu, Nama Ho, Nama So. We honor the three treasures. We honor our teachers, our teachings, and our community. Knowing that as we do so, we connect with that sacred center within each of us that is the home of our deliverance from suffering. It is our place of belonging, our place of unity, of communion, of oneness. It is the Buddha nature which we all aspire to awaken. It is the one Buddha mind that uplifts, supports, nurtures, and encompasses us all. As we unite together in oneness, each reflecting upon our own lives and hearing the stories of other lives, we come to a place of understanding our common ground and our sameness. And we release the suffering we have caused ourselves and others. This moment is a change in our thinking, our behavior, our voices. We come together in this truth. There is no separation between us. Our participation is the beginning of a new way of showing up, a new understanding of well-considered causes, in recognition that we are interconnected and that all our actions have impact, and always we are one. The truth of this recognition fuels every moment of intentional interaction as we walk forward together on this day. We are grateful for our awareness of the oneness in the Dharma. We are grateful to know that we are victorious in our efforts for seeking awakening. We are grateful to be alive, to have each and every opportunity to transform our lives. We are grateful that our hearts are a place of prayer, always mindful, always intent on walking this path of liberation. Each of our voices is a song of liberation. Together we form a chorus of awakening that lifts us all out of suffering. This is our truth. We are the Buddhist children. We are the emissaries of love and compassion. And so it is. Ashe.
Thank you.